CW33's Charles Bassett is live in Wiley with this story. Charles.
Well, this all started with the building of the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge you see behind me here. It connects, and as you said, this man has been up there going on 6 hours. We put a link on our website, CW33.com. Reporting live in Arlington tonight, Charles Bassett. Well, Amanda, this teen is home recovering tonight, but this has been quite an ordeal for this family over the past 2 weeks. It's something they say they hope no other family has to deal with.
Because you can't do it next Saturday because that's the weekend before school.
Jordan Connor spends her days resting in the family's living room. Her mom, Ebony, is constantly at her side.
We have good days and we have better days. You just don't know.
The 15-year-old is recovering after falling ill to West Nile virus. She was in the hospital for more than a week, most of it in intensive care.
It was them telling me my child, may die or may be brain injury or brain damage. That was the most unbelievable, inconceivable part of it.
Jordan says it started after she walked out onto the balcony of her home for a few minutes a month ago and was bitten by several mosquitoes.
I went to go lay in my bed that night and I saw I had 5 mosquito bites on my leg, now scratching them.
Within days, she started getting sick with flu-like symptoms. She felt numbness in her hands and had double vision. When she got headaches and started throwing up, her mother rushed her to the hospital. She was just released a few days ago. She says she is feeling better.
Mentally good, but physically, my body hurts.
And as you can see, she still has a nagging cough.
We have memory loss, and the walking improves, but there are things like balance, motion. She doesn't like riding in a car too much anymore. Vision has been an issue.
Jordan still has a lot of therapy to go through, but she's hoping she's well enough to return to school later this month. Meanwhile, Ebony is thankful Jordan made it through and her 13-year-old son is okay. But she's warning others about the dangers of West Nile.
You see it, but we see it every year. I didn't take West Nile seriously until West Nile bit this family, and now I take it very seriously. If you don't beat the odds, you're in a bind, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
And Ebony had to take a leave from work so she could care for her daughter, and the bills are piling up. There's been a fund started to help out this family. If you'd like to contribute, we've put a link on our website, CW33.com. Reporting live in Arlington tonight, Charles Bassett, CW33 News.
On CW33's Charles Bassett joins us from the scene with the very latest. What is the latest out there, Charles?
Well, Don, we're here at Mockingbird. We are just west of 75 near the SMU campus. I'm going to go ahead and step out of the way and look behind me here. You can see that crane sticking up from the center of the campus. That crane is about 5 stories high. That's where this unidentified man has been holed up all afternoon, refusing to come down. The crane recently went up on the SMU campus and is there for new student housing about to be built. Around 11:30 today, a man climbed to the top and began threatening to shoot police if they came near him. The campus is closed due to the Memorial Day holiday, but a few people had to be evacuated. Police cordoned off several blocks around the crane as they tried to make contact with the man inside. Police say there are radios in the crane. Power to the crane had to be cut so the man could not operate it. There were reports that the man was connected to a carjacking earlier this morning, but police would not confirm that. Police say they were alerted after someone saw the man breaking into the crane.
When they saw him, this person, witness, saw him breaking into the crane, they alerted SMUPD. SMUPD went to the location, were able to contact him, and at that time, that's when he informed them that he had a weapon. If they got any closer, he was going to shoot.
Police say they cannot confirm that the man even has a gun, and they will not discuss what tactics they'll use to try to get him to come down. And as you said, this man has been up there going on 6 hours. It's hot out here. They have cut power, so there's no air conditioning inside that crane. They're hoping some of the heat out here will force the man to eventually come down. Dawn?
Charles, you mentioned that is interesting. It has to be like a sun up there. He's basically in a glass box. I mean, what are police saying about that, the heat taking a toll on him?
Well, Don, right before we went on air, I checked the temperature out here. It's 93 degrees, and we're out here on pavement. It's extremely hot. That's not even accounting for the humidity out here. And also, you know, this time of day is normally the hottest part of the day, so it's extremely hot. And what police are telling us is that this man has no supplies. Besides the power being cut and no air conditioning, he went up there without any water or anything, so he's just up there alone. So it has to be like he's inside, as you said, a sauna or a car or probably even an oven.
I believe he had some paper towels, something like that. Charles, also, what are police saying about communication? Have they had any communication at all with him? I know there's usually some sort of radio box, maybe even a phone up there, but you mentioned there is no power. Have they been able to communicate with him?
They've had some communication. The construction company operators are on the site, and they did tell police they did have radios up there, and so police were able to make contact through the radio system with the man. However, they will not disclose what the nature of the conversations were.
So, Charles, you're on a pretty busy corner there, the corner of Airline and Mockingbird. That's a good-sized shopping center there. Are those businesses closed down?
Let me go ahead and step out of the way. Good question here. This is the street we're talking about that is shut down. Mockingbird here, both directions west of 75 down to Bishop. This strip mall over here, there's a CVS located there. There's a Barnes & Noble. It's pretty popular with the younger crowd, with the college students here. When we got on the scene, the parking lot was full of cars, but police did allow the people who were in the shopping center to continue their shopping, and as they left, they would not let anybody come back into the shopping center. Right now, you still see some cars here in that shopping center. Those are employees there. When they finish up with their day, they're going to be allowed to leave, but nobody else is being allowed into the shopping center as this situation unfolds. However, if you're coming to this area, the east side of Central Expressway, the West Elm area, a lot of shops over there, that area is still open to the public.
All right, Charles, thank you very much for that information tonight.
Well, Amanda, this all happened early this morning. The family who lives in this house let the dogs out to do their business, 5 dogs in all. When the dogs did not return, they went looking and found 3 of the dogs in a pile right here behind the house, dead. Now, we need to warn you, some of the pictures you're about to see are disturbing. These are pictures of the Ponce family's 5 Chihuahuas. The small ones are 3 months old, the larger ones almost 2 years old. All of them are now gone. 3 are dead. The family's still hanging on to their remains. The dogs were let out of the house around 2 this morning. 5 minutes later, the family called for them and they didn't return. After sunrise, the family went looking for them again and found 3 of the dogs dead in a pile behind the house. The other 2 are still missing. Esperanza Ponce says she believes the dogs were shot with a BB gun.
That's just cruel because they're small, they don't hurt anybody. And it was intentionally because the big one, Edward, he was shot 5 times, Twilight was shot 5 times, and Jacob was shot 2 times.
Animal control came out to the house to take pictures, and the police department is involved. They say right now they can't say for sure how the dogs died, but it doesn't appear they were attacked by another animal. And this wall you're looking at right now, the family believe the dogs were shot on the other side of the wall and then thrown over here in the pile. Now, Esperanza says she will be having a necropsy done on the dogs to determine how they actually died. Reporting live in Wiley, Charles Bassett, CW33 News.
CW33's Charles Bassett joins us from University Park with more on that. Charles.
Well, Amanda, we know this is a hotbed for West Nile virus. We've already had 3 deaths here. They've done aerial spraying, and there will be some ground spraying done tonight. But a lot of people out here cannot wait. And yards like this, they take care of themselves. Take a look at this right here. This is a mister. If you can see there, it is spraying right now. This homeowner has installed these throughout her front and backyard. Throughout the day, these misters will come on spraying insecticide, killing any mosquitoes in the area. It's been a busy summer in the Dallas area for mosquito busters. The company has been working overtime installing home misting systems for mosquitoes. The systems are attached to fences, roof lines, gutters, and even trees and flower beds. Usually in the mornings or evenings when mosquitoes are most active, the misters turn on, dousing the pests with insecticide. We spoke to one homeowner who says with the threat of West Nile this year, this was worth the investment.
The system has worked well. We didn't do the entire perimeter like we should have in the beginning, and it became obvious that we needed to add more nozzles to the system, and that meant a larger tank and a large, just more accommodations for the property itself. so that children could play front yard and backyard.
And you can see the misters are still going there. This homeowner liked the system so much, she bought them for her 3 adult children to put in their own homes. And also, the cost for this is about $1,300 starting out, and it also depends on the size of your yard. Reporting live from University Park, Charles Bassett, CW33 News.